Hello all, this is TJ and welcome to a brand new full playthrough. We are doing Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot, the first cases. And it has been a long time since I did my last full playthrough, in which it was Star Wars Jedi Survivor and on Xbox Series X. And, you know, I was trying to get over this dry spell of not doing a full playthrough for the past 2.5 months, which equals or almost exceeds my first dry spell when there was a gap between what was that game I did for my New Year's playthrough. I forgot what that game was called. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, I'm old, but not old if you know what I mean. I just got a lot going on outside of work and all that stuff, so not bad stuff, but just things in terms of developing my career between school and work. Oh, Deathloop. So Deathloop was the game, and then it took almost 3 months to do my next full playthrough, which was Ghostwire Tokyo, and that's about the same time frame between this playthrough and the last playthrough. Hang on for just a moment. Sorry about that. I had to respond to a text, but I'm doing this game because there's another Hercule Poirot game coming out, The London Cases, which is going to come out at the end of August. As of this time frame, I mean it's mid-August right now. So the way I'm going to do this full playthrough is I'm going to do this, and then after that I'm going to do another full playthrough back to back, which would be Hercule Poirot, The London Cases, and it's in the celebratory response of the next Hercule Poirot film, which would be A Haunting in Venice. As you know, it's Kenneth Branagh doing his film. He started off with Murder on the Orient Express, which was really good. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Shit. I did not mean to do that, but it started off with Murder on the Orient Express back in 2017. Can I quit? Hold on. Let me see if I can quit. I'll just let this play through, but it started off with that film, and then Death of the Nile was a second film of Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot film. That was supposed to come out in 2020, but COVID messed everything up, and it got pushed back to 2022. And then now, less than a year later, you got the next film, which would be a trilogy of Kenneth Branagh's Hercule Poirot films. Haunting in Venice. Now, that one I'm actually interested in seeing in the movie theaters. I saw Murder in the Orient Express in the movie theaters. I didn't see Death by the Nile on theaters because COVID limited everything in the movie theaters. And then now I'm actually interested in watching A Haunting in Venice. So, very excited for that. Death on the Nile, I think, was okay. It's sad that they, well, it's here a bit of a spoiler, but they killed off Hercule Poirot's partner and friend from the first film. I think it was Boof from the first film. And now I'm interested in playing these games. I saw a bit of a gameplay. It's a top-down view. And so it's going to go back to my early roots of playing top-down video games, but in a murder mystery format / theme, if you get what I'm saying. So this second half of 2023 is going to be shaping up to be a full playthrough shindig back to back, because we got this game, we got Hercule Poirot, The London Case coming out after this, and then the spectacular playthrough is most likely going to be Alan Wake 2, which I'll talk more about that. Probably not in this full playthrough, but the next one. So we're going to start with him, Hercule Poirot, as a young officer. Okay, so we'll talk more about his character as this game moves along.
Oh, thank goodness. Officer, please, come quickly. Bonjour, mademoiselle. How can I...
It has become a madhouse. Madame has been shouting and cursing all morning. I've never seen her so angry. But what great luck to happen upon you!
Please, try to remain calm. First, may I ask your name?
We don't have time for that. Please, hurry.
Alright, so this game is divided into chapters, I guess. Prologue, the bracelet. And let's see how...
Mademoiselle, now we are here, I must insist on your name before I can continue any further. I am Officer Hercule Poirot.
I am Elizabeth, but it is the maidservant that we must consider. Forgive me, officer, but are you new to the area?
I stand out so obviously.
Probably because of the accent.
I mean no offense, only I have not seen you before. This is a small town, and you learn everyone's faces very quickly.
Very observant of you, mademoiselle. I was recently posted here from the city, and a good thing I am here now. Let us get to the bottom of this madness you speak of.
Okay, so good. Give you some dialogue, hints, and clues to progress the story. Okay.
There has been a theft at the house.
Then I am exactly where I should be, n'est-ce pas?
It is only one of Mademoiselle Angeline's most valuable bracelets, taken from her room.
Then its safe return is of the utmost importance.
Madame Van den Bosch, the lady of the house, believes Fleurette is behind it.
Fleurette. Already snitching already. Okay, let's see why.
I'm afraid I do. I know Madame is confident of Fleurette's guilt, but she wouldn't do such a thing. Surely a burglar is responsible, as Mademoiselle believes.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Okay, so the deduction system is very similar to that of the past couple of Sherlock Holmes games I did for my full playthrough. So this will be somewhat of an easy doozy in terms of interpreting and dissecting and deciding some of the clues and pieces of evidence to decipher and link everything together. Okay, I got this now.
I think they all deserve the top.
That's how you zoom in and out. Okay. he looks down. Walks.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Did he change accents? Oh, right here, okay. Got it. Okay, this is quite simple. Wait, who was that? Oh, that's just the gate, sorry. Alright, so I got a little distracted. I was finishing up the press conference between Canelo and Charlo. They have a lot of respect towards each other.
One set must be mine, leaving to find you. The other set must be Florette's. She was caught in the rain this morning.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Okay, so we gotta see if the intruder stepped in any other way. So let's take a look and see. You know, a lot has happened these past 2.5 to 3 months from the last full playthrough. Oh, what's this?
Oh. Huh.
Let's see what else is going on here. I played Final Fantasy 16. That game's pretty good. I think that's my game of the year, slightly over Tears of the Kingdom, but we'll see. I mean, what's this? What else is there? Oh, I started playing Remnant 2 with my brother on co-op. I think that's the best co-op shooting game of the year so far. I'm really impressed with what they've improved upon in the first game. Whereas they only had 3 classes in the first game, this one had 4 or 5 if you had a special pre-order digitally. I initially pre-ordered the games physically, but when I found out that there was a certain class that I wanted to play as, the gunslinger, that was only available for pre-order via digitally, I had to cancel my physical pre-orders and then buy myself and my brother PlayStation gift cards to use digitally, and And we're playing pretty well right now. We just started the second world and clocked in about 12 or so hours. What's this? L loves E. So Elizabeth is E. Who's the L? Well, we'll talk that later on. There's a ladder here. They have to use the wooden ladder. Look around the garden a bit more, see if I missed anything here. Nothing in the water pitch. This hasn't been mowed for quite some time. I agree. What else happened? But yeah, Remnant 2 plays really smooth. It's not as technically glitchy as it was from the first game. The measure down all ultra. Okay. Let's see if I'm missing anything else here. Too bad I can't run. And what else? What else happened? I think perhaps the highlight of my summer so far, since I'm a huge boxing fan, was the undisputed welterweight championship of the world between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. And I predicted Terrence Crawford to win, but I didn't expect a stoppage. I mean, Errol Spence got whooped, and I mean whooped. I mean, I'm not surprised by the way Terrence Crawford performed. I'm just shocked at the fact that Errol Spence was on the receiving end of that freaking battering that Crawford gave to him. It was pretty rough to watch.
Of course, officer.
Let's see.
How can I help?
Oh, hold on. I can make some deductions.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Actually, let me talk with her first before I make some deductions.
Of course, officer. How can I help? There is, sir. Luke. But he was called away from the house on a personal matter. Rahana, our cook, accompanied him. Excuse me, officer?
The carving on the bench. Forgive me, I was not suggesting anything untoward.
Oh, of course not. Yes, I suppose there must be.
Would you know the identity of the mysterious L and E?
I'm afraid not. Perhaps they were old residents.
You.
A pair of star-crossed lovers, perhaps. Madame does not allow distracting staff relationships.
Love is not something that can be harnessed so easily.
True
That
that.
is Madame's rule. And I wouldn't want to be the one that challenges her on it.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
I already did that. Let's see. I know it's a link, but I'm just going to check these out real quick. Link the wooden ladder to the open window.
What a revelation.
Durr. The fuck? Skilled access? Hold on, let me read that again. I have found a practical or logical way for someone to have reached the window frames. The wooden ladder! Oh. Okay. So it was... Okay, I see. What did I miss then? What am I missing? Can I complete these two?
Magnifique. I must act on thought and...
Okay, alright, that didn't work. Alright, trial and error. What else? No scaled access, no forced entry can link these two.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Was someone let in? Or maybe someone works inside.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. Is there something I am not seeing? I must take a different approach if I am to...
Wait, let me look around. Hold on. Something's missing. What am I seeing? Maybe the front door?
Of course, officer. How can I help?
Merci, mademoiselle.
Okay, hold on. I gotta figure this out. I'm missing something. Or maybe I got everything, but I'm just not linking something properly.
This will not get me any closer.
How about this? Can I cross this?
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Yeah, so it had to be somebody from inside, like I thought. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Good. Possibly, yep, that's what I thought at first. No forced entry. You can't use the ladder because, according to Poirot, it's not the safest ladder to use. That's some OSHA violations right there. And, let me talk with Elizabeth again. So let's see what she has to say.
I have conducted my initial inspection of the house and grounds. It is now necessary for me to speak with those in the house.
Of course. Thank you, officer. I'm sure Madame Van den Bosch will be happy to hear the police are investigating.
It's an examination only. Okay, let's keep going. Yeesh. That red dress is something.
Who are you? You are not the commanding officer I requested.
No, dear madame, I am Officer Hercule Poirot. I can assure you that,
This will simply not do. I sent Elizabeth to bring me a competent lawman.
And that is what she has brought, madame. Now, I would like to continue my investigation.
You understand correctly. It is my daughter's bracelet. It is a rather expensive piece.
And valuable to your daughter, no doubt. It was a gift.
Yes, it was from her late father, my husband, the Viscount, and it has not gone missing. It was stolen. I do not believe so. I know so. It was Florette, the maidservant. I knew I could not trust her.
Why?
And why is that?
Because I don't. I do not need to explain myself any further, especially to a measly officer.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly, bitch.
Don't be ridiculous. I have told you who is guilty. If there had been a break-in, surely it would be your job to stop them.
If it was the case, of course, madame. Although I cannot predict a burglar's movement.
Perhaps then you have proved me right, and you aren't the competent officer I require.
She has some sort of beef with the maidservant.
Merci, madame. You have been most helpful.
I would. Okay, alright. Abrupt and snobbish. Ha! Ooh, more stuff, okay. The facts is that she is accusing Florette without any form of evidence. No connections. And then let's take a look at Elizabeth Paget. Elizabeth was on the one that reported the theft. And nothing else. Okay, good. Gotcha. Alright. Sounds good.
Ah. Huh.
That must be the Viscount. Ooh, a telephone. Can I use it?
Ah.
Yeah, y'all too rich to have a broken phone.
Oh.
Yeah, can't go there. there. Well, let's go to the room first. That the maidservant? Oh.
Aha.
Alright, let's figure this out. Why is the crying going on? Let's figure this out. No, I still need to talk to her. Hold on. Anything else? Ghost symbol again? Okay. Gotta talk with both Elizabeth and Cassandra. Let me go upstairs. Actually, let me talk with Cassandra. Let me go upstairs. Missing painting. Interesting. Actually, let me leave for a moment. I'm not ready for this yet. Okay. Alright, let me talk with Cassandra and Elizabeth back downstairs for a moment before I go to that room. Let me go back outside.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth, I hope you are feeling less distressed now. I can assure you I shall find the guilty party and the bracelet.
Thank you, officer. Yes. All I want is for Florette to be heard.
Bien sûr. Rest assured she will get the fair trial she deserves. I wonder if you could help me with some questions regarding the house.
Of course. Whatever I can do to help. When I left, Madame was with Florette in there. Surely she would not have locked her in. It must have been an accident.
Madame Vandenbosch should not be deciding her fate. Would you grant me access to speak with her?
I would, sir, but I don't have the key. There is a spare somewhere, though. Oh, how awful, the thought of her locked in there.
Do you have any thoughts as to where I may find it?
Find that spare key.
Madame does not trust the staff with such knowledge, even me. Although I did overhear her once say it was hidden somewhere, close to her heart. Whatever that means.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Yeah, let me talk with Elizabeth or Cassandra now. Hang on a second.
Really, officer, you are wasting both your time and mine. And what is your point?
May I ask of the subject?
You may not. Honestly, your prying is getting on my last nerve. Only if you are prepared to take Florette away.
It is an offense to incarcerate someone without suitable proof of misdeeds. I must question Mademoiselle Florette to gather her version of events.
If you will not do your duty and lock her up, then I must. She shall remain there, and I, the keyholder, until she is led from the room in handcuffs.
Merci, madame. You have been most helpful. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second look at the evidence in front of me. Come, my little grey cells. We must think logically.
What could... Oh, wait, oh, this two linked together.
Order and method.
Nope, that doesn't work.
That is the way to solve the problem. Things are
That's
beginning
right.
to become clearer.
The strange symbols that...
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover. Things are beginning to become clearer.
Auction? Trying to make up some money?
Order and method. That is the way to solve the...
Let's see...
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse.
Or what if the portrait of the gentleman matches with the bench carving? Let's see.
This will not get me any closer to my...
I'm missing one. I just don't know what it is. Why are these two flashing? Close to her heart, Shakespeare?
Magnifique.
Ah, okay. Shakespeare. Let me go back to Elizabeth.
Certainly, officer. Madame is the one with the refined taste. Angeline and I are much more partial to a simple love story.
Aren't we all? Romeo and Juliet, the most famous of love stories.
I do enjoy it so. The passion, the romance. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Madame has a copy, upstairs in the main hall.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Thank you for that. Let's get that fucking book. Let's see.
Huh.
Got the key. Let's go to the runner first.
What do you think you're doing in here? Who let you in?
Mademoiselle Angeline, I presume. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Officer Hercule Poirot.
An officer of the law? But what are you doing here? Don't you need to be chasing down the burglar?
Your bracelet has gone missing. It is only correct. I speak with all members of the house and investigate the scene of the crime.
Ah, if we must.
Merci. I will attempt to take up as little of your time as possible.
Is she Irish? Hold on.
Some rat stole my bracelet this morning. Even though it's clear someone has broken in, Maman refused to listen and blamed Fleurette.
You sound very convinced it was taken by someone from outside of the house.
My window was open when I returned. How else can you explain that? It is of great value. Money was no object to father.
It was a gift from your father. I can only assume it holds great value to you also.
Of course it does. What a silly thing to say. It's a good thing Maman had it insured with the others. It must have been while I was down at breakfast with Elizabeth. She was with me all morning.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth was with you until you discovered the bracelet was missing?
She was. She woke me up later than usual. I washed and dressed, and we went down to the lounge for breakfast.
You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet. Huh. Oh.
But from the inside. Interesting.
Huh. Is there something I am... I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second look at the Come, my little grey cells. I must act on thought and order and method. That...
Oh, this is a clue. The glasses. These two.
The pieces of the puzzle
I wish I
finally
did that.
together.
Talk to Angeline about that, and then
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
forced open with an abandoned poker. Okay, I'm getting it now. Talk to Angeline real quick.
The longer you are here, the further the criminal goes with my bracelet. But by all means, fire away. Is one bracelet not enough? Why don't you believe me? I wish you hadn't spoken to Maman.
As I have stated, it is my duty to speak with every member of the house, and I would not want to have discovered a further missing piece later.
How should I know? I returned to the room and Father was face down on the floor. It must have been the burglar.
So it is your father that is the subject.
Isn't he handsome? I remember watching him sit for it. He kept looking across and smiling at me. The artist was getting awfully angry at him. Maman never wants to talk about him. She says it's too hard, but she acts more like she doesn't even care he's gone.
Interesting.
I'm sure that is not the case. It must have been very hard for her, for you both.
I miss him every day. He always knew how to put a smile on my face. I remember how much fun we would have, all three of us. In the summer, Father and I would play hide and seek while Maman read. She always helped me though whenever it was his turn to hide. I would stand in the gazebo, cover my eyes and count, and when I turned, he was nowhere to be seen. Maman would lower her book and flash a look towards his hiding spot. After I found him, he clapped and cheered as though I had won a gold medal. When I was hiding, it didn't matter where I was. He could never find me. I always thought I was an expert hider, but when I think back now, I know he was letting me win. He always said my smile was prize enough for him. He always knew just what to say.
I am sure he would want you to be smiling today, even under such circumstances.
Oh, I got a new achievement. Uncovered a secret from Angeline, excuse me.
You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet.
All right, let me talk with Elizabeth before I go into that room where what's her face Floret's at. What is the missing painting here though? That's bothering me.
Certainly, officer. Now I think of it, I don't recall seeing her memento tin.
Memento tin?
She holds her keepsakes from her father and other gifts or tokens in it. She has such a wonderful collection. She's very lucky. She normally keeps it close, but I didn't see it this morning.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
So let's see here. Let's go back and talk to Angeline for a moment. Or maybe can I talk with her real quick?
Really, officer, you are wasting both your time and mine.
Merci, madame.
Never mind that. Alright, let's go back up, talk with Angeline. Is that the...
The longer you are here, the...
You have been up.
Okay, I guess I have to go to the lounge then. Alright, cool. Let's see here.
finally it is...
What exactly do you think you are doing?
If I am to serve justice, I must be able to reach and talk with young Florette.
The girl is guilty and shall pay the price for her crime. I shall see to that. If you wish to listen to her feeble attempts to explain herself, so be it.
Everyone deserves to tell their side of the story, whether a feeble account or not.
You tell her. You tell her, Karen.
Mademoiselle Florette, I presume.
Please, officer. I did nothing wrong. You can't take me away.
Please relax, my dear. If you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about. But it is my duty to investigate all avenues. Ah bon?
Relax. So you don't think I took the bracelet?
As of this moment, I cannot say. But answering my questions honestly will certainly help your case either way.
I didn't even know it was missing till I got accused of taking it. Madame was so angry. She wouldn't listen to me.
There must be some reasoning behind her accusation.
How could I have taken it? I've been in town most of the morning. I was even late coming back. Then I was preparing breakfast. Rihanna the cook is away, so I had to fetch breakfast for the house and prepare it all myself. How does she expect me to do that all on my own?
From what I understand of Madame Van den Bosch, she would not have been best pleased you returned late for breakfast.
Not best pleased? I thought she was going to batter me to death with a baguette. I hid in the kitchen and then tried to stay out of sight in the lounge until breakfast was over. Didn't want to put my head near her jaws while she was still hungry.
Perhaps a brave move under the circumstances. And you did not go upstairs at all.
Madame was singeing a hole in the back of my apron with her glare. I daren't have moved. I was too scared to blink the wrong way. Never mind stamping upstairs. I must just be slow, monsieur. My mother always said I moved like the snail. Maybe I was just happy to be out of the house.
Moved like the snail?
Now I am being accused of avoiding my duties? Mais enfin!
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
That explains why the phone's not working.
Ah.
Oh, I know where that is. It's from upstairs.
Huh. Aha.
What package? What's this?
Oh.
The soot. Hold on.
Come, my little grey cells. This will not get me any closer to my goal. What a revelation! Is there something I am not seeing?
Hold on. Let me see. Wait, I wonder if, can I link this to this?
I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps...
Hold on, there's something here I mentioned though. one of this.
Some would
There we
say
go.
lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Selling one of this.
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the truth.
Auction. Hold on, wait. Auction crate. How about auction crate?
Order and method.
Shit.
That is the way to solve the problem.
Can I link? Oh, actually, wait. How about?
I must act on thought. Another
There we go.
success.
That's what I meant to do.
I never doubted myself.
And this probably because the valuables are insured.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
It's like Cassandra's in on it, I believe. Hold on, I'm missing something here.
Is there something? The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Anything to
Merci. Oh. Aha.
Interesting. Let's go back.
I must take a different approach if I am... Another success.
So they're the one that's in that package.
Myself.
The package was wet, so maybe Florette was the one that took it?
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
anything to show you I didn't do it. And Madame... I need this job, monsieur. Yes, another thing on my to-do list. I'm afraid it's not in the same condition as when I picked it up.
At whose request?
It was a favor for Lizzie. I didn't mind having to get it.
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
Certainly, officer. The lounge? A package?
Oui, it is quite hard to miss.
Oh, how silly of me. I must have had my head in the clouds this morning. I'm sorry, I can't help you further. Besides the terrible rain? No. I woke, began my duties with Mademoiselle. I had already laid out a clean dress. I helped her into it, and prepared her for the day before getting started on tidying her room as neat as a pin.
And the bracelet was still there when you left the room for breakfast?
I'm sure of it. I had it down before Mademoiselle Angeline. Why, yes, officer! I misplaced it after wiping a stain from Mademoiselle Angeline's sleeve at breakfast. You are a great detective.
You are not the first to say. Had she not noticed it herself, I imagine Madame would not allow even the smallest imperfection.
It baffles me how she couldn't have. It was only luck that I spotted it before Madame, and a good thing I did. Madame is under a great deal of strain. It can't have been easy for her to lose her husband, raising Mademoiselle alone. She can be quick to anger.
And this morning, it sounds as though it was such an occasion.
It's
I didn't mean to press that, I'm sorry.
Madame's scolding of Fleurette this morning was the worst I have seen her temper. I wish you could see that Fleurette is just trying to do her best.
Could there have been another reason for such a reaction?
Madame was not happy Fleurette was late. All through breakfast, Madame was watching her with a piercing eye. But she's still learning the way.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
No. Ellen E. looking at Elizabeth. We're not dumb.
Magnifique. see the logic in this. This will not get me any closer. Things are beginning to become clearer.
Yeah, she can be doing a bunch of things at once like that.
Come, my little grey cells. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps... I must take a different approach if I am to What a revelation! What a revelation!
Alright, time to go back to the room.
Really, officer?
Merci, madame.
I'm not ready for that yet.
What are you doing there? I wouldn't get too close. Soot is forever spitting onto the floor.
Merci for the warning, mademoiselle.
The longer you're here... Maman is never happy with anything these days. Also, Florette does have a habit of not doing things exactly how Maman wants them done.
And how does she react when she sees Florette not doing things the correct way?
Maman has the temperament of a kicked cat. Florette has often been on the wrong side of it.
Kit cat.
That is how she responded today?
She was shouting at her, and when Florette would not admit she took the bracelet, Maman really lost her temper. I have not seen her that angry before.
You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet.
So how can I... Let me go back outside, see if I can distract her that way. What's this?
Another success. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Anything to show... She never used to be such a witch. When the Viscount was alive, she was much nicer. He was the head of the house, he gave the orders, and he treated us right. I would have gone long ago, monsieur, but my family can't afford for me to be picky about my employment.
I was not aware you were supporting your family, and at such a young age.
Papa lost his job at the factory just before he left for good, so Maman had to work even more. I was old enough, so I went to work. When I joined the Vandenbosch house, the Viscount was very kind. I didn't think he would care, but he wanted to help. He gave me some extra in my first pay pack, enough to keep the landlord from kicking Maman out at least. No one had ever been that nice before. I didn't know what to say, but all he wanted me to do was work hard for her. He even let me to go home and visit Maman and my brothers at Christmas, with a food parcel from the kitchen. Maman said she had never seen so much food. It's always been hard for her. Even before he left for good, Papa wasn't around much, and even when he was, we both wished he wasn't. My brothers were too young to remember what he was like, I hope. When I walked in Maman's house, everything seemed so much smaller. I must have got too used to the size of this house. I swear, you could fit our house in just this lounge. We didn't have much, but we didn't want for much. It was simple and it was home.
The valuables in the house do not determine the love it shares.
Someone should tell Madame that. Not that she'd listen anyways.
I will uncover the truth of what happened today, mademoiselle. That, I promise you.
Alright, got a secret from the flow. Nice. I'm starting to understand the whole objective of each chapter, each game, of each person, that is. Okay.
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
Let me figure out. Let me go back outside. There's something I'm missing out there. I feel like if I accuse Cassandra, this would be the end of the prologue chapter. And I'm going to end the episode right there when I do.
Certainly, officer.
Merci. Huh. Oh. Oh. Huh.
Well, let me go back to Angeline's room. I'm going to figure out a way to distract her.
Ah. Huh.
The longer you are here...
You... Aha. Aha. Oh. Ah.
What are you doing there? I wouldn't get too close. Soot is forever spitting onto the floor.
Merci for the warning, mademoiselle.
missing something here? What's this?
Ah.
Gold ring. Let me see this.
Things are beginning to become clearer. I must act on thought and fact.
Or the soup? Like a wedding? Yeah.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Certainly, officer. How could I not be? I may not enjoy his other works, but how can one not be blown away by a story of two so deeply in love that they will risk everything just to be together?
Especially being able to draw similarities between Verona's star-crossed lovers to yourself and your dearest.
But I hadn't told...
Mademoiselle, I am an officer of the law. It is my duty to uncover the truth.
Please, you cannot say anything to Madame. She is against staff relationships of any kind. In her eyes, a relationship between staff is nothing more than a distraction.
But he means so much more to you.
Oh, officer, I have found my soulmate. At first, it was nothing more than pleasantries around the grounds. But that quickly changed. I know it's not proper for a young lady to pursue a gentleman. But once I knew his feelings reciprocated my own, why shouldn't I have followed my heart?
Love transcends professional and societal rules.
The mere thought of him was enough to make me blush. But I knew that Madame would never give her blessing. If we wanted to continue, we would have to do so in secret. The summer evenings here are just so beautiful. I often find myself walking around the grounds after my daily duties are complete. And it was one such evening that Luke was waiting for me at the gazebo. He looked ever so handsome. And the poem he had prepared. He had barely started reading and I was already a blubbering mess. Standing there beneath the warm glow of the falling sun, he asked for my hand, and I gave him my heart with no hesitation. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I've been chattering on for so long. You have much more pressing matters than to listen to me rambling aimlessly.
One should never apologize for such a charming and bewitching story of love. But you are correct. While the culprit still eludes us, my work is not yet complete. Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
guess there's nothing left to do but to talk with that bitch.
Really, officer, you are... If you have something to ask, officer, I suggest you stop wasting my time further and just get on with it.
Is that a hammer? Oh, okay.
And this is how she repays me? I will not be happy until I see her sufficiently punished.
Okay.
I am not sure what you are trying to imply, officer, but I will remind you of my position in this house and my standing with your superiors. It is challenging at times, I will admit. But I can assure you the Van den Bosch name is as strong and prevalent as it has always been. Officer, you have wasted enough of my time.
My intention was not to anger you, madame. I was merely commenting on an observation.
If you have something to ask of... And this is how she repays me? I will not be happy until I see her sufficiently punished. I am glad you have finally come to your senses and have seen her guilt. It is challenging at times, I will admit. But I can assure you the Van den Bosch name is as strong and prevalent as it has always been. I have tried my best to provide for Angeline, although sometimes she may not see it that way. She is not to know about what we have discussed. It is my burden to carry.
You are accepting the hand you have been dealt and raising a fine young mademoiselle. That is all that can be asked of you.
And you have done nothing but bother my staff and my family. I cannot stand here any longer and listen to this second-rate officer speaking such drivel.
The longer you are here, the further...
You have been of
Did I read that and that was the bracelet? Hold on. Holy shit.
Come, my little Grace Alice. We must... This will not get me any closer to... Is there something? Some would say a lucky guess.
Well, time to ask her.
The longer you're here,
You have been of great...
Good. Was it Elizabeth?
Certainly, officer. You have found the culprit and the bracelet.
Everything will be revealed in good time. Would you be so kind as to gather everyone in the lounge?
Of course.
Merci, Mademoiselle Elizabeth, for gathering everyone. Will Madame Van den Bosch be joining us shortly?
She stormed past me not long ago, and I have not seen her return.
Very well. Under usual circumstances, I would wait. But I think we have spent enough time on this matter, n'est-ce pas? We shall have to proceed without her. This morning started like any other. My usual ordinary patrol, until I was approached by Mademoiselle Elizabeth about a suspected burglary and a missing bracelet.
A crime I've been falsely blamed for.
That I shall come to. I began my investigation outside, but it was not long before I realized there were no signs of an intruder, so I turned my focus to those in the house. You. Florette, your time here at the house has not always been the easiest for you, shall we say.
I do what Madame tells me.
And to the highest standard, I presume.
Madame's standards are very high. I do my best.
And you would at least expect fair treatment for the work, not to be spoken to in such a cruel and vicious way.
Monsieur?
I refer to how poorly Madame Van den Bosch treats you. You are at her beck and call, and she does nothing but belittle you.
that is Maman you're talking about. Just wait until...
It is nothing but the truth I speak, mademoiselle. All the while, mademoiselle stands by and does not even notice such cruelty. That must have angered you. Perhaps you thought it was time they deserved some retribution.
Stop trying to put words in her mouth.
I am merely giving her a voice, one that has been silenced for so long.
Maybe I do think she deserves it. She's had the world handed to her on a plate, and the likes of me get nothing.
A motive begins to rear its head.
You're just trying to get me to admit to something. Well, I've done nothing.
Allow me to finish. I am sure you will want to hear what follows. Let us return to this morning.
I was only trying to help.
As any friend would, even knowing your late return would anger Madame Vandenbosch further. But in the matter of the missing bracelet, it gave you a rather solid alibi.
I told you I didn't do it!
There is no feasible way that you could have made it into Mademoiselle Angeline's room while she was present with Mademoiselle Elizabeth, removed the bracelet, and still completed your duties. Which takes us to Mademoiselle Elizabeth. Mademoiselle Elizabeth, you have been with the Vandenbosch family for quite some time now, correct?
That is correct.
You have grown close with both ladies of the house and your fellow members of the house staff, would you say?
Of course. And I certainly hope they feel the same.
You yourself told me Madame Vandenbosch would not stand for it, and you would both be out of a job.
Elizabeth? What is he talking about?
A love that is reminiscent of Romeo and Juliet, one that must remain hidden from the world from fear of expulsion.
If you don't stop, I will tell Maman. You can't speak to her like that.
It may be a tone you do not like, but it is no worse than your maman's ruling that forced them into secrecy to begin with.
I'm sorry. This isn't how I wanted you to find out. We couldn't risk Madame finding out. I don't know what we would do without this house.
What are you talking about, Elizabeth?
Luke and I... We're in love.
The gardener? But why wouldn't you tell me?
For fear of Madame and her rule, and if neither of you had employment, there would be no way to pay for a wedding, perhaps.
It was never our plan to go behind yours or Madame's back. You must believe me.
You two are to wed?
Yes. Well, no. Not today, as Officer Poirot suspects. Please, it's not what you think.
It is not always what one thinks, or how something may appear. Rather, where the evidence points. And that is to Mademoiselle Angeline.
You can't believe I would hide my own bracelet.
I almost pressed the wrong selection.
I have nothing to say. How dare you speak to me like that? You have no idea what you're talking about. You can't actually believe I would hide my own jewelry.
If you didn't, explain to me how your memento tin with the bracelet inside came to be lodged inside the chimney of your bedroom fireplace.
You have no proof I put it there.
Besides you being the only one in the room alone, even after finding the bracelet, I still did not know why you had done it. Until I contemplated why Madame was selling so many heirlooms and art.
She insured them the same time.
You had no right to snoop through our house in the first place.
When it is part of my investigation, I have every right, mademoiselle. The unpaid bills and final notice from the telephone company.
Maman can do what she wants with her art. That means nothing.
But when there was no more art to sell, what then? You could not risk her taking your father's bracelet and selling it. So, you staged a burglary pretending it had been taken, preventing her from selling it. Then you stood back as the innocent Florette paid the price.
She didn't think about me at all. She was going to take my bracelet and sell it off. It would have just ended up on some old wrinkly wrist. I didn't think Maman would blame her. I didn't think she would do anything.
But she did. And somehow that evidently didn't cross your mind. When Madame returns, you shall have it all to explain.
Maman can't know what I have done. She will be furious.
But Mademoiselle Florette will be proved innocent. And that is what is important. No crime has been committed, so I see no reason why this should continue any longer. It is time you considered the consequences of your actions. And now, you must face them head on.
Did Cassandra just walk back in?
Maman, you're home.
Of course I am. And I brought someone that will bring some order to this chaos.
Major, I can assure you, I have the situation under control.
From what I have heard, you are far from it.
The missing bracelet has been found, and the guilty party has been identified.
I am well aware that the maid-servant was behind it all. And yet I see her standing as free and innocent as you and me.
I am sure Madame Van den Bosch has informed you of her suspicions, but I'm afraid it was merely speculation.
Excuse me?
After conducting a full investigation, the evidence and facts led me to deduce
This is ridiculous. Why would my daughter hide her own jewelry?
I'm sorry, Maman. He's right. Florette is innocent. I just wanted to show you.
Shh, girl. I will not have you guilted into taking the blame for that sticky-fingered girl. Perhaps it would benefit you to remember you are nothing more than a simple officer of the law.
Officer Poirot, a word. Madame Van den Bosch was forced to make her way to inform me, alone, I might add, of the goings-on at the house today.
Major, with all due respect, she was impeding the investigation.
This may be how some officers act in the city, but here we show respect to our citizens. You are an officer of the law and should act as such. Insubordination like this will not be tolerated.
As the ranking officer, I have conducted my investigation and...
Ranking officer? Ha! You are an auxiliary officer. You have little authority over anyone, let alone a major. You would be wise to remember who is close friends with your commanding officer. After what I have heard of your past in the city, I'm sure he would look upon today's events as another failure at the hands of Officer Poirot.
Oui, Major.
Now I suggest you do your duty and escort the maidservant to the station where she can be formally charged and a sufficient punishment handed out.
Right away. I'm sorry, mademoiselle. This is not the outcome I expected.
Maman was right. We'll always pay the price for the upper class's actions.
We will do everything we can to clear your name.
What can you do now? Madame said I'm guilty of a crime and I'll be punished. That's that.
A crime that was never committed. Once the truth is explained, this wrong shall be set right.
Angeline did not intend for you to be arrested. Surely you know her better than that.
I should have known better than to expect anything else. Justice and fairness don't reach the likes of me.
What you saw today was not justice. In the eyes of the law, you are innocent and have been harshly treated and wrongly accused. No one will be going to jail.
But that doesn't help my employment, does it?
That I cannot save. But your freedom, I shall make sure of that.
Detective Poirot, I trust this finds you well. It has been many years since our paths last crossed, and while I'm sure your recollection of the events may differ from mine, I hope that receiving this letter has not rekindled a sense of animosity toward myself or the Van der Bosch name. The impression you made is something that has stayed with me since that day. It compelled me to reconsider the spoilt young lady I would have inevitably become and helped shape me into the woman I wished to be. You made me see the childish and selfish girl in me that did not consider the consequences of her actions or how they may affect others. Although Maman may see the events of that day differently, I believe the compassion you showed for our mate Florette, as well as the drive to uncover the truth and accept no alternative, was a testament to your character and professionalism. Although I wish it were under different circumstances, your assistance is once again required, and I hope you will consider this as my formal request for your service. This forthcoming weekend was due to be one full of joy and happiness at the announcement of my engagement to Gideon Demir, whom I love dearly, bringing together two illustrious families, but it has been shadowed by deceit, extortion, and blackmail. The Van der Bosch name is being held to ransom by a mysterious party, and I am afraid I do not know who I can and cannot trust. We are holding a small gathering to celebrate our exciting news with what Maman calls the dignified elite, those that are well respected and held in high regard in both our close inner circle and society.
The major
Our
two?
private matters have always remained just that, so I fear one of those invited may be the person who is out to ruin our name, but for reasons I cannot fathom. I have enclosed a first-class rail ticket for you to join us for the announcement, and having contacted your superiors and the correct authorities to request your assistance, which they were more than happy to grant me, I shall expect your arrival with great anticipation. There shall be a carriage waiting for you at the station to bring you directly to Mnemosyne House. I thank you in advance in our time of crisis. Yours respectfully, Angeline Van der Bosch.
After the old mama screwing out of someone's employment, you want me to come back and then... Really? Good God. That's 2 hours of a prologue? Holy crap. Holy crap. Okay, so a few years later, after trying to solve a case that was caused by fucking Angeline, she invites us. All the mess that she started here, which inadvertently caused the loss of Florent's employment / arrest, and then my God. You want me to come here and come back to her as to what the blackmail's all about on her? So we'll end the episode over here. I like this. I actually like this game a lot more than I expected to, but come on, these guys are pulling one real fast on Poirot. So episode 2, we will trek our way into this mansion to start this gathering, and I know it's not going to be a happy reunion for some of these guys. All right, guys, I'll see you later, real soon for the next episode.